Hi, it's Mitch from SportsChatPlace.com, and it is Friday, February 8th, 2019. Here with your free live show. Generally on Fridays, we do Free-for-All Friday, meaning all of our picks come from the audience. All the games that we cover come from the live audience. So if you have those, the format is, I'll get it up there to show you guys. It is always, let's see, right there. Team A versus Team B with the point spread. Of course, we do at least 3 free picks every single day. Our best bets always over at SportsChatExperts.com. So, the thing is, when we started doing the Free-for-All Fridays, we had college football Saturday going on and NFL Sunday and all of that good stuff. But what I was thinking is that now that most of the action seems to be Saturdays, seem to be more the packed days or Wednesdays. See if we want to make it Free-for-All Saturday or Free-for-All Wednesday. I know Free-for-All Friday sounds the best. But maybe during this time of year, we make it Free-for-All Saturday or something. And all wants his own show. If he wants to post his picks, the place to do that is in our Facebook page. Or, of course, he could do his own YouTube show. Of course, Luch Pavari, you could see the format of the questions for Free-for-All Friday. It's right on the screen. But I think we should move to Free-for-All Saturday. Personally, that's my vote. I think Saturday we generally get a really big crowd too in here. Usually have 300 people, 200-300 between Facebook, YouTube, sometimes even more than that. And then during baseball, after NCAA, we could do kind of like, we'll do Free-for-All Friday for the NCAA tournament. I think just for the next few weeks, we move to Free-for-All Saturday until we get into March and take a look at it again there. But anyways, we do at least 3 free picks. Of course, please enter your questions just once. So far, most people are saying Saturday is a better day, and I'm with you guys on that. So we'll start with that tomorrow. Hopefully, I'm in good condition. I have surgery today. 12 o'clock my time, that's 5 o'clock Eastern time. I won't be home until late, so if I do the dog of the day for tomorrow, which I'm going to try and do before I leave, it might not have the point spread out. I'm just going to have to assume that they're a dog and say we'll take them on the money line. And then tomorrow morning, we'll be back on here. I don't know what kind of condition I'm going to be in, I'll be honest. I might not be my jovial, cheerful self that you guys are used to seeing. I'm not really sure. I know it's heavy anesthesia, so normally that takes a few days to get out of the system. But anyways, in the meantime, we'll be giving out free picks. And I think we'll do Free-for-All Friday today since we always do Free-for-All Friday. And then tomorrow we'll do Free-for-All Saturday. We'll just do it both days. And then next week we'll move to Saturday. And probably for the rest of the month of February at least we'll move to Saturdays. And then we'll just go week to week. We'll decide, together as a team. Kind of like the rules to our Facebook group. People say, why is this the rule? Why can't we post our winning tickets? You can. We have a ticket section to do it. But most of us don't care. I mean, imagine if we had, this is the question I posed to everybody about that. Thanks to everybody for the well wishes. But, imagine if all of our handicappers at Sports Chat Experts, every time they had a winner, posted in our Facebook group their winning pick and write-up on every single game. I mean, we'd have thousands and thousands and thousands of posts of winners. It just doesn't even make any sense to me. Who cares after the game, right? Yep. But anyways, Roman doesn't care about the rules. He's just going to keep posting his pick that he wants to see. But anyways, those of you that this is your first time on the show, the reason why I go into kind of this stall mode is generally to give people a chance to join us. That's why we do it. Let's get into our first pick. The first one that I see here. Let's start with the NBA. Nuggets 76ers. This is an interesting one. Of course, the Sixers, they got it done on the trade deadline. They got rid of Markelle Fultz. I never liked that pick. But they got rid of him, and they actually got something for him, which is amazing, since the guy's never really played. They got more than they should have got for him. And I don't understand how that happened, but now they're home, the Sixers, laying 4.5 against the Nuggets. The line looks sneaky low to me. Of course, the Nuggets 7-3 straight up in their last 10. The Sixers just 6-4 straight up in their last 10. But when we dig a little deeper into this, see that the Sixers' losses are the last two games, Toronto and at Sacramento. Of course, they lost at Denver by 16 points in the last meeting of these two teams. They were 5.5 point. They were 10.5 point dogs in that game. So it was a game, none of the Sixers stars were obviously playing in that one. But I don't know. I like the Sixers in this one. I think this is a team that's going to be, a force going forward. I don't think a lot of these players that they acquired in these trades are going to be playing. So, like, Tobias Harris is questionable. And, of course, he's the key guy. But it looks like most of these guys, generally the day after a trade, they don't play. So, it's something we'll have to follow. I don't care. I still think the Sixers get revenge here. I'm going to take the 76ers minus the points. And that'll be our first pick of today's show. So, of course, it's Free For All Friday. That means all of the questions come from the audience. All the games that we cover come from you guys. So we're going to be changing it to Saturday starting tomorrow. We'll do Free For All Friday, then we'll do Free For All Saturday, just to get it done. Like I said, I have surgery today. It's not that big of a deal, but I will be under for, 4 hours or so. So, not sure what kind of condition I'm going to be in. Less the after effects of the surgery, which will keep me out of the water for 3 weeks. So I don't know what kind of mood I'll be in about 2.5. But and I can't exercise for quite some time either. But sitting here and talking on a video, I can do. I'm not sure what I'm going to look like. I think I might have some issues, I'm sure. But we'll figure it out. We'll do it together. And if I look like a mess, maybe we'll have Sam sit here and I'll just talk. And I'll answer the post, and Sam will just sit here and I don't know what he'll do. Maybe play with a tennis ball or something. But anyways, let's get to another free pick here. Let's take a quick look what we got. Any more NBA that we can get a consensus on here? Look, let's take one over from Facebook. But anyways, we do at least 3 free picks every day. On Fridays, generally we do what's called Free For All Friday. But today, we're doing Free For All Friday. And then because of the way the schedules are, it worked great during NFL and college football. But now, Fridays are kind of a lighter schedule. The lines aren't out for Saturday. So we're going to do, we're going to call, Peter Vu says free selection Saturday. But we're just going to call it, what do we call it? We'll call it Your Pick Saturday or something. I don't know. We'll come up with a name. Maybe it'll happen when I'm under the anesthesia. I have no idea. We'll come up with something and we'll do it. But I'm going to take one question here from Facebook, then I'll switch back to YouTube on it. Let's see what we got. It says Nuggets 76ers. We did already. You guys don't have any NBA over here. Fultz reminds me of Markelle Fultz is, at least at this point in his career, he reminds me of some of these NFL players that were drafted in the first round. Joe Finney can probably tell you about, what was his name? Reggie Dupard, who the Patriots took in the draft many, many years ago. He had turf toe and never played. John Bosa, who's Joey Bosa's father, and Nick Bosa, who's projected to be number 1 in this year's draft, was drafted in the first round by the Miami Dolphins, played about 3 plays in his entire career, was always injured. So we got some ideas here. Super Pick Saturday, Sports Selection Saturday. I like Super Pick. It could be Sam Saturday tomorrow. Let's look at some of these picks. So the Miami-Sacramento game, this is a game that it almost looks too obvious, right? It's like the Kings favored by I showed 3. So I'm seeing 4.5 up here. I'm showing all different numbers, but really the line that I'm seeing is 3. And it was 2.5. It went to 3. 80% of the public here on the Kings, who are 5-5 against the spread in their last 10. Meanwhile, 18-9 against the number at home. The Heat, a sneaky 16-9 against the spread on the road. Of course, the Heat coming off of a win at Portland, but they had lost their 3 previous games. All those were at home, but when you look at their last 3 road games, they've won them all. They've won 4 of their last 5 road games. Meanwhile, Sacramento, coming off of a loss at home against the Rockets, they'd beaten the Spurs, they'd beaten the Sixers, all as dogs. You know, the Kings have been dogs plenty. And the last time they were even favored was against the Hawks, and they took care of business in that one. That one was over a week ago. Let's take a look at some of the numbers here. And Sacramento, clearly the better offense, but really not the better defense. I think this game is pretty even, and that's why the spread is right where it is. I'm going to have to just lean to the Kings here, less the points, and that'll be our second pick for today's show. The thing that kind of scares me about this Kings pick, though, is a lot of people in the Facebook group are on this pick. There's a couple of them that they're all on, and that is usually a very bad sign. Yeah, I will. Yeah, if you're giving your pick, Baron Garcia, this is not the place to do it. You could do that in the group if you want. So what we'll do is we'll delete your comment, and you can post that again in the group if you want. If you continue to post it on the show, you'll have to have your own show somewhere to post your picks. Net Chicago first half line -5. No idea what that means. Let's see. So one more. Bulls Nets. This is another one. It looks almost too obvious that the Nets, -8.5. I kind of really liked this one last night. And then this morning when I see the comments in the Facebook group, I'm less confident of it. Like yesterday, I loved Iowa against Indiana. Loved it. And the thing is that they put out that sucker line, having Indiana favored, saying, oh my God, Indiana's favored, somebody knows something, whatever. But it's like we've all seen Indiana play this year. They played up in that game against Michigan State, and then, back to exact form that they've been in, losing to Iowa last night. With, a chance to cover coming down the stretch, but really none. But I think that this Nets line is pretty similar because the Bulls have been so bad. Now they've gotten rid of, Portis. And, the Bulls have been eliminating good players. I know they got Otto Porter, but once again, he's probably not going to play in this one. Karis LeVert is back for the Nets, but, when a player comes back or is out and all that stuff, it's already in the line. This is not like, unknown news. Like the guys who make the lines don't know this stuff. When will the Knicks get their next win? Maybe never. It could be next year. I think the Knicks are playing for the draft pick. But, I don't honestly believe that most teams play for the draft pick. But when we look at the Nets, they haven't been overly strong, but the the Bulls, of course, have been one of the worst teams in basketball. The only sign of life was that game in Miami. Of course, the Bulls just played at Brooklyn less than a week ago, and they covered in 117-122. They beat the Nets outright. So I think the Nets get revenge in this one. I think they beat them up. I'm going to take the Nets minus the points. That'll be our third pick for today's show. We'll move to college basketball. Super Pick Saturday could be it. Could be the name. But I don't know if it's Super Pick. It's just, we could call it that. We'll start with that. Super Pick Saturday, starting tomorrow. I don't know what kind of shape I'm going to be in, so we'll have to see. You guys might be ugly. Might have to be some dim lighting. Is what we'll have to have. It's good we can laugh about it. But those of you that those of you first time at the show, we do at least 3 free picks on the show. At the end of the show, we do a recap of all of the picks. Yeah, the whole playing for Zion thing, I think, I don't believe that teams ever tank, and players don't tank. These are pros, and they're playing for jobs. That pay millions and millions of dollars. They compete every single night, and believe me, there's a big difference in salary. I don't know if sunglasses are going to do it because I believe that most of the stuff will be in my nose and down here. So I don't think sunglasses will do it. Might have to be the bandana over the face. It'll be like this. Capper X. Anyway, that always happens. Like when I held up the New England thing yesterday, the picture of the Miami New England game, that ends up being like the freeze frame. My guess is the freeze frame is going to be that right there with me holding up that thing. But anyways, we do at least 3 free picks. Yes, it could be like the witness protection program with the shadow face. That would be fun. Anyways, let's try some college hoops. I don't have any college games they want to see. I saw Princeton, Yale in here. Let me get some numbers up here. Princeton taking on Yale. 2 good teams in the Ivy League. Princeton 6-3 against the spread in their last 10, 6-3 against the number on the road. While Yale 4-1 against the number at home, 6-0 straight up at home, and 5-4 against the spread in their last 10. These are 2 really good teams, and these are pretty much the class of the Ivy League, along with Harvard as well. Of course, Yale does have that loss to Harvard. They were stomped at Harvard. They got crushed. Meanwhile, Princeton riding a 6. Looks like about a 7-game winning streak here for Princeton, but not really against Harvard or Yale or the tougher teams in the Ivy. Yale has those wins over Brown, who's a pretty decent team as well. This is one of those games you got the killer offense against the pretty strong defense. When we look at what Princeton has done in their Ivy League games, is they're only allowing 57.6 points a game. That's how they're getting it done. Only scoring 64, but allowing only 57. I think this is too many points. We're getting 8 with Princeton. I'll take the Princeton Tigers plus the 8 points. That'll be our 4th pick of today's show. We'll probably do one more pick today, and then, like I said, we'll change it to Super Selection Saturday, or whatever we're going to call it. What do we call it? Super Selection Saturday, or Super Pick Saturday, or whatever. Yeah, if you want a game on here, Brother Boog, you got to do it in the format that's written right here on the screen. That's how I can go through them. If you don't, then I don't know. But anyways, I don't know about WKU last night. They weren't a premium pick. Were they a free pick? I don't even remember. I don't know. I guess they were a pick on the show. How did they do? I didn't bet the game. It was a free pick. So we'll do Kent State against Akron. I looked at this game pretty long and hard. I like Kent State in this one. I mean, just looking at the game, on the surface, Kent State 17-5 coming in, Akron 13-9, but the Zips have been playing pretty hard recently, coming off of a loss against Toledo, where, I like Toledo this season, but, wins over Ohio, Northern Illinois, Central Mich, lost at Miami of Ohio, win over Eastern Michigan, lost to Northern, lost to Central, win against Western. So, the MAC season's been going on for a while, but, Kent State has been getting it done in the MAC, not necessarily covering in all of these games, but certainly winning a lot of games. They had the win over Miami of Ohio, did not cover. The win over Ball State, they did cover. That game was in overtime. That was a premium pick on Saturday. Lost to Buffalo, 88-79, didn't cover by the 1 point in the game. That they were in it the whole way. Toledo, a win over Toledo, a good Toledo team. I got to take Kent State here. I think it's the issue here that I have is that we have the potential for a heavy public underdog, even though we're not seeing it at this point. Just 43% of the public on Kent State at this point. I'm comfortable there. I'm going to take Kent State plus the 4 points. Yeah. Izzy, if you want to talk about things like that, a great place to discuss, about the Knicks bench and things like that is our Facebook group. We have over almost 8,000 members in our Facebook group, and just everyone's interested in that stuff. So it's just it's a really fun environment. People give their picks and predictions. I'll put the link right there to our Facebook group. I guess the whole link didn't come out. I'll do it again. There we go. Second one. I'll remove that one. And now we should be good. For the hell of it, we'll do one more free pick. I know I said we're just going to do one more, but we'll do another one. Harvard against Columbia. Harvard laying 10.5. It's a lot of points. They're just 3-3 against the spread. Columbia is a team that's kind of right in our wheelhouse. 1-6 straight up on the road, but 4-3 against the number on the road. 5-4 against the spread in their last 10, while Harvard just 3-7. Boy, this game is right in our wheelhouse. I don't know how we missed this one. Columbia getting 10.5 points in this thing. It's down to 10 at a couple of books, and that makes a lot of sense to me. I know Harvard stomped them last year, but that just gives Columbia more motivation here. Columbia's lost their last 3 of their last 4, but in those losses, they've covered in 2 of the 3 losses, while they didn't cover when they were favored in 1. I like Columbia here plus the points. I know Harvard's covered in 3 of their last 4, not covering, laying this exact same number against Dartmouth. So they didn't cover both times against Dartmouth this year. I'm going to take Columbia plus the 10.5. So we have special requests here to take Vermont before the line even comes out. 2 days from, or tomorrow it will come out. We'll take Vermont tomorrow. We don't care what the spread is. We've taken them blind every single day. Well, we've taken them blind or looking at the point spread every single time they've played this season. And they've hit better than 75%. So if we can get a 75% winner, we don't even need to bet any other games. But anyways, let's recap today's show. Firstly, tomorrow, I don't know what condition I'm going to be in. Hopefully everything's just fine. Hopefully I'm just the same way that I am. Maybe a little better attitude, right? But hopefully everything is just fine and I'm great. If not, we'll just do whatever it is, whatever it takes to get the show done. And will take the dog of the day video. If you're a premium member, I'll put a note in there. I'm probably not going to have write-ups on the picks because tonight I think is going to be pretty rough. So I'll just give out picks in the premium area with no write-ups. And everyone will get an extra day. That's what we'll have to do. But anyways, recapping today's show, we take Vermont regardless, is what we've done. We have taken Vermont every single game they've played this season, and they've covered over 75% of the time. So why get? I mean, they haven't won they haven't covered every single time. So people would say, "Oh man, you didn't even handicap the game or whatever." I think most people would take 75% winners no matter what, and Vermont's delivered that for us. But anyways, we took the 76ers minus 4.5, the Kings minus 3, the Nets minus 8.5. Princeton plus 8, Kent State plus 4, and Columbia plus 10.5 points. This is Mitch. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day, everyone. I will see you guys tomorrow in some form or another. We'll figure it out together. And, of course, we'll start selection Saturday as well. If the show's a little late or something, I don't know. We'll figure it out then, right? We always do. This is Mitch. Thanks for joining me. Have an awesome day, everyone. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.